Welcome to the Champ We Are United podcast, the #1 football comic-based podcast, bringing you the big interviews and full features from all your favourite football comics of yesteryear and current day releases. I am your host, Paul the Tangential One Richardson. Without further ado, let me introduce you to my fellow team members here in the studio. First up, he is, I think it's fair to say, our very own Michael Parkinson. It is none other than Mute Button Matt.
Oh, hey, Tangential One. He's hosting. I love it when you do that. Hi, Tangential. Yeah, good to be here. Looking forward to this show.
Did he just call you Michael Parkinson?
He did indeed.
Hang on a sec. Hang on. Michael Parkinson here. My next guest this evening is Mute Button Matt. Go on, carry on.
Well, you've already heard from him, founding member. He needs no introduction. You might have already heard. Maybe he's digitally enhanced already. It is, of course, the Podfather. Goal, how are you?
I am very well indeed, and it's a pleasure to be back for a second episode running. I know, I can't believe it. Even Dot's excited.
Oh, plenty more of that to come, listeners. Good to have the Podfather back in the studio as always. And completing our lineup, breaking all podcast records, not just football comic based podcasts, but all podcast records. The most nicknames, of course, it is Bygone, Judith Chalmers, Grandad Gangster, Surty Brinsden Berrigan.
Hello there. I don't know where the accent comes from.
Who's that?
Look, see, he's trying to think of another fake accent to squeeze another nickname in there.
I think that was mildly offensive, to be honest.
Hello there, everyone. I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. I'm really looking forward to it, as always.
That's worse. Go back.
Hello there.
Oh, God, no.
Like crying.
Right, got to bring this back into order. I think without further ado, we've got quite a packed schedule. So what have we got in store for you all in this pod? Well, we will kick off with the normal social media feedback, otherwise known as Melvin's Musings, brought to you by Mute Button. I will finally be bringing you the next instalment of the We Are United from the Champ, and it'll be edition number 10. Then, of course, our very own Judith Chalmers, yes, back on holiday with a 1980s Scorcher holiday special.
He's eating a biscuit.
And, yes... or a caravan park, I never know. And, well, thankfully, we've got Billy's Boots brought to us, well, Hamish Whitta of Twitter, but brought to us by Mute Button. And then if there's time, if I can keep this rabble that I've got in the studio alongside me, the way they're behaving, if there's time, we will try and squeeze in a collector's corner and some latest news from the comic book world, and obviously our goodbyes. So then, Mute Button, over to you for the feedback.
Thank you, Tangential One. Yep. Okay, yeah, so the last show was the David Hunt special. What a show that was.
Oh, yes.
Superb.
What
a show. So, yeah, lots of feedback on that. So we start off with the Rovers Facebook site, and Philip Jenkins. Hi, Philip. He had clearly stirred a few memories for him. And he says, Bobby of the Blues. And he says, Schoolboy Internationals used to be live on ITV. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
Schoolboy Internationals.
Do indeed, yeah.
He said, Everpool were Bobby's team. The only episode he could remember was Everpool winning, battling relegation, and all the teams above winning, and couldn't understand what the problem was. And then finally he said, 1971, it's decimalisation. So 1970 would have been just before he started to read comics. Yeah, so thanks for Philip. Those memories stirred. Phil Cole says that was brilliant and great to touch on his non-football work as well. Did smile at the Pat Mills comment. I now have on my wish list a Barry and Dave double-header pod alongside a John Wagner one. Yeah, also nice. Consider this a vote for David's suggestion of a Jerry Finley Day non-football pod.
Interesting.
Yeah, so yeah, I know. I think.
Sorry to interrupt. Was that Phil Cole?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him well, not a theme tune, but bring on the coal.
Okay, there you go, Phil. Yeah, thanks a lot, Phil. I mean, I think I went back to him and said that. I mean, those guys are legends, John Wagner and Jerry Finley-Day. And I don't know if I'll be comfortable actually interviewing them. It's bad enough interviewing David Hunt and Barry Tomlinson. That's nervous enough. But you're right. I mean, legends.
Come on,
of the
Parker.
comic
You
world.
know you're up for it.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
My next guest.
It sounds quite creepy, Carl, actually. Then we had some feedback from Ian Golden Boy himself. Who's, Ian's not here this week, but he should be back next pod. Hi, Ian. He said, outstanding stuff. I must say that having bought the issues at the time, I particularly enjoyed the talks about the latter years with Hotshot, the Lineker negotiations, and how everything worked when Roy of the Rovers was turned into a magazine in 1990. I look forward to when I get to those issues on my reading. Of course, he's reading all the editions. I also know what it's like when your hobby is your job, and it is good. Because, of course, he's a sports journalist. If people weren't aware that Ian's a sports journalist. So, good for you, Ian. And Richard Woods, great friend of the show. Hi, Richard. Yeah. Top listen, guys. It's great to be able to hear these legends share their stories. It sounds like such a great place to work back in the day, and you can feel the love that all of those guys had for what they did, and boy, did it translate to the page. Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. It really did, Richard. Thank you. Jeff Tiley. Hi, Jeff. It says, that was a great episode. It's so nice for David S., David H., Barry, and all the other creatives to see how well their work was received by us as children and adults, and the great memories it left us with. Absolutely. It must be fantastic. Well, they do say that, don't they, how good it is to hear that.
Top one, nice one, bang tidy.
Yeah. Tidy is Tiley, but yeah, that'll do. It's close enough.
Sorry.
No, it's good. Keep them coming. Listen, if they don't hit the mark, it's fine. Most of them don't.
116 episodes in, we haven't yet. So why would we change now?
Oh, glad you're back, Cole. And the muser, Trevor Melvin himself says, "Phew, what a scorcher! Champ Towers was on fire as former Hotshot editor David Hunt turned up the heat and lifted the lid on his football comic career. In fact, to counter the risk of any heat-related stress injuries during this episode, users would be well advised to implement Dot Cotton cooling break protocols and even liberally apply, that's easy for someone else to say, liberally apply Bygone Berrigan's own brand holiday special sun cream.
Yay.
Whilst Gull,
I'd rather not.
The pod's very own Red Adair was back in the lineup. It was left to the fire-resistant mute button Matt to lead the team and make sure everyone kept a cool head. Tangent Paul, who is said to have just returned from a sunny sojourn, was therefore well acclimatised, whilst bygone Judith Chalmers Berrigan is used to performing sweltering conditions when presenting his summer specials. Alf Wallace's secretary was probably the first to recognise David as a hot prospect, but that's another story. It was UK comic book Hall of Famer Derek Burnage who saw that The Office Junior had burning ambition, promptly struck a deal for the young hotshot to join his Tiger editorial team. David did not disappoint and went on to be something of a trailblazer when he became the editor of Scorcher, the first ever all-football picture story comic at a tender age of 25. The young boy who had once humbly cut his teeth writing up Sabutio match reports for his own amusement, now occupied the hottest seat in UK comics. Real Roy the Rover stuff, you might say. As the team continued to grill the legendary editor, David warmly recalled an encounter with the man who was the inspiration for Paul Trevelyan's Roy Race, Sir Bobby Charlton. However, David also remembers some cooler dealings with Gary Lineker whilst working on Hotshot.
Ooh.
Yeah, slightly controversial. Despite getting into hot water with an MP on one occasion, David clearly enjoyed his time as editor of Battle and felt that he did some of his best work during this period. Unfortunately, David was left simmering after company politics played a part in the full-time whistle being blown early on his top soccer publication. David was sadly editor when Roy the Rovers met its weekly comic demise and Roy's helicopter crashed and burned. However, before anyone gets hot under the collar, David was not responsible for Racy losing his left foot. Roy was very much alive and in one piece when David left him in the casualty department at Melchester Hospital. So he just put him in the casualty department.
Exactly.
So that's okay. That's fine. That's fine. I'm sure
we can
Roy was
forgive
okay
him
with
for
that.
Yeah. He could have made a full recovery. That was,
probably would have done.
Yeah.
A podcast special that sizzled from the first to the last minute and had this muser praying for extra time and penalties. Hopefully another fiery encounter is in the offing with this modest comic book hero. Absolutely smoking, lads. Brilliant stuff.
Brilliant. Yes.
Brilliant.
Thank you. Thanks, Trevor. I know you've been really busy, so appreciate you putting in the time and effort to get that review done. And yes, David has intimated that he would come back on the show again. So
Excellent.
listeners, viewers can look forward to that probably in the new year.
What happened to his theme tune?
David.
Melvin.
Muser. Yeah. God. Oh dear. Well, do you want to do it now?
You want me to? Okay.
Well, it's you.
Whoa, it's Melvin's musings.
Yeah, I mean, I would try and edit that and put it back at the start of that, but I'm not going to bother. Sorry, yeah, good. Thanks for reminding me, Gold. Cheers. Champ We Are United Facebook site. We have the House of Lord. Can we have a theme tune, please?
Oh, everybody in the house of Lord. Everybody in the house of Lord. One house, one Lord. Everybody in the house of Lord.
Brilliant stuff. Adrian goes on. Great podcast as always. Regarding barcodes, do you think there are more barcodes or Steven Seagal films or Billy losing boots or Barnes United changing grounds?
Well, there's a future episode for us.
Yeah, he's still going down that track, is Adrian on now. Good question. If any viewers want to come back or listeners want to come back with the answers to that, then please send it to champweunited.gmail.com something or other .com.
.com.
Thank you. Okay.
That's one of the funniest jokes you've ever done.
Okay, I'll take that.
Go on, mute button. It was a good one.
Feedback. When do I ever criticise this fabulous show hosted by the Marx Brothers? P.S. Yes, I finished it. It was average because you remember last time he'd only got halfway through. But we'll take average any day of the week. Adrian, cheers. Great special again, gents. Eagle relaunch. Bought the first one, but wasn't enamoured by it, so stopped there and then. Keep up the good work. It was nice to have Dot back too. A karaoke bar in Barnsley is going well too, apparently.
Brilliant news.
Is that right?
Oh, yes. I've got a night off.
Yeah, I've got a night off. Brilliant. And Terry Angus says, Pod was a great listen. Thought David come across well. What a career with titles and colleagues. Is there any thoughts on getting Pete Nash back on regarding the new AI striker? Are we going to cover that one later?
Hopefully we're going to cover that in sort of an add-on on the collector's corner, but yes.
Oh, okay. So stay tuned, everybody. That's a ploy. That means you have to listen to the whole bloody episode.
We're
fast forward it.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't fast forward for my bits. They're quite good. Right. And feedback from the mighty world of British comics. We had a few comments here. Carl Schumann. Hi, Carl. He said, I love Scorcher, not forgetting Score and Raw. Yeah, that's another fantastic all football one. And Neil Jackson, he said, I think those 3 strips were the best in Scorcher at that time. And he's talking about Billy's Boots, Bobby of the Blues, and Lags 11.
Interesting.
So 3 famous strips there. So thank you very much. On X, we have our great friend Nikos says, keep doing this great work, lads. Thank you very much, Nikos. And finally, of course, who do we have last but not least on YouTube? Who is it, guys? Feedback from Land Down Under.
From Down Under, surely.
Down Under.
Go.
You waiting?
Yeah.
Feedback from Land Down Under.
Brilliant. Really great interview with David, guys. Was fascinating to hear his memories and stories from a long career in comics and magazines. Especially enjoyed David talking about top soccer. I have good memories of getting this Down Under. There you go. If somebody actually read it. Such a shame it didn't last longer. Another legend of our childhood on the show. Appreciate all the time and work it takes to get the guests on. Time just seems to fly by. Who will you get next? Who will we get next? I don't know. What should we leave out to later on in the show?
Yeah.
Yep. But that's it. That's all the feedback. Back to you.
Fantastic. Well, brilliant.
Good work.
Good feedback.
Yep. Well, always brilliant to hear from all of you listeners, and as Mute Button mentioned, the viewers to the YouTube channel as well. Of course, I tend to focus on the pod and the listeners, and of course, you're all friends of the show. Even if we don't mention it, you know you are by now. So then, trying to keep a brisk pace, it's me returning with the We Are United story. So I'm looking to Mute Button. I don't know if he's going to put anything on the big screen in the
Yeah, I am.
studio, which he's working on, which is loading up now. But I can tell you, we left issue 9 with United getting a great draw in the FA Cup semi-final against the mighty Manchester after being involved in a horrific train crash. Background stories: manager Joe Pearson's feeling the pressure with rumours that the United board are interested in top manager Peter Malcolm, who has just parted company with Westfield City. Terry Evans, out of contract at the end of the season, is wanting a pay rise, with goalkeeper Bill Shenton suggesting that if that idiot gets a rise and he doesn't, he will want out. So there, that's brought you up to date, and we're going to move to edition number 10 of the Champ Weekly. I'm going to ignore the cover actually at the moment. I'm going to come back to that at the end. So we move to page 2 of this week's edition of Champ, number 10, 28th of April 1984. We are confronted with the front page of the Daily News with the shocking pictures of the train crash and the heroic on-field efforts of United to force a replay in the FA Cup semi-final. At the foot of page 3, we see the poster for the Cup replay and a team profile on Swanton Town, who will be United's next league opponents, a home fixture on Saturday. In the profile, we are reminded there are just 6 games to go, 4 at home, which are must-win matches. Looking ahead at our away fixtures at Lee Castle and Rexfield, yes, in '84, Rexfield were in the Championship. Little shout out to the Hollywood Dynamic duo. I don't know if there's a link there, but Rexfield were once in the Championship there in '84.
Yeah.
So Lee Castle and Rexfield are both sure to be difficult hurdles, so 3 points on Saturday are vital. Swanton were tipped to be promotion hopefuls, but have been mid-table. But the Vinian Field Club won the Welsh Cup on Wednesday, securing European football in the Cup Winners' Cup. The man who clinched the cup with 2 great headers was none other than Win Toshak. He is the man Tim Stevens will have to stop. I can hear you, Mute Button. This. Swanton, I think, obviously maybe a little play on Swansea there, seeing as they play.
Yeah, I was just. It's a shame. It's a shame that Ian's not here for this very Welsh-flavoured show. But
show,
yeah,
yes,
on.
exactly. And back to the story now. So at the top of the page, it's Monday, April the 16th. Boss Joe Pearson is getting the latest on the injured players. Fred Rimmy's out with a head injury. Willie Barnes is still in hospital. Terry Evans is very doubtful. And Larry Watson is out with torn ligaments. Pearson pins up the team sheet. And I do like this, actually. And this is the way it is ordered on the team sheet. 1 Shenton, 2 Stokes, 4 Granger, 5 Stevens, 3 Wilson, 8 Green, 6 Frazier, 10 Jones, 7 Slade, 9 James, 11 T, and 12 sub Evans. At the board, Shenton's is shocked that Evans is on the bench. But of course, Terry says, whilst he's not 100%, the boss included him just in case you lot are losing and need 10 minutes of Terry Evans magic. Oh, big head there. He never lets us down, does he? Then we see Joe Pearson mention the game is on TV. So smarten up. Immediately, big Duncan Fraser tells Hedgehog, he means you. You'll frighten the TV viewers with that crazy haircut. The action moves fast in the United story, both on and off the pitch. Big Dunk now has an issue. His younger brother has run away from home and turned up at the United's players' hostel. Dunk having to tell his mum, who admits it's not a great life in the village for young Jimmy, but she depends on him now that Dunk has left home. On to Tuesday morning, and we are on the training ground. Joe Pearson saying that they got their goal from a set piece, asking the players for any ideas. Keeper Bill Shenton says the simplest plans are the best. He says from a corner near post, ball flick on back header are always dangerous. The corner's taken and Big Dunk flicks it onto Tug Wilson at the far post. and they continue on in training whilst young Jimmy watches on. Although they don't score from the next attempt, Pearson is not concerned, as it only needs to work once as he leaves the training pitch for a moment. Joe Pearson ventures up to the boardroom to meet the chairman to finalise Terry Evans' new contract. But as Joe gets to the boardroom, he's got a big surprise. Already in the boardroom is Peter Malcolm. And says that one of the boardmen, Peter Malcolm from Westfield, but Peter Malcolm corrects the board member, saying that he is no longer at Westfield. An awkward encounter that sees Joe saying he will come back later, with Malcolm wishing Joe the best of luck for tomorrow. So it really does appear at the moment that Joe Pearson is under pressure. I mean, whether we should be reading too much into that.
They're talking to other managers. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Joe gets back to his office where Andy Bates is, and Andy Bates reassures him that Peter Malcolm's been a friend of the chairman for a long time, and that Joe's only been a manager for a couple of months. You won't get the sack already, but we can see the worry in Joe's face. In the dressing room, young Jimmy is asking his big brother what are the chances of getting signed up as an apprentice. Dunk telling him he has to go home. I'm not going back. There's nothing for me up there, young Jimmy says. Well, as I say, the action moves fast, and now it's Wednesday, April the 18th, Hillsborough, Sheffield, and we see in the TV studio the esteemed TV pundits sitting in front of the cameras and a capacity crowd asking the question that we all want the answer to: can the underdogs United go one better than Saturday? A Jimmy Hill lookalike.
It does look like Jimmy Hill, yeah.
Yes, very definitely based on the late great Jimmy Hill. My heart wants United to win, but I must admit my head says Manchester. Another pundit agrees. Well, so much going on, and we're only on page 5, but we're straight to the action now as United kick off and start the game in the manager that Joe Pearson loves on the front foot. There's Hedgehog in midfield. He's past one. He passes into midfield to Josh Cupperty. Oh, what a run, Josh Cupperty. He fires in. Goal! Oh, no! Unbelievable save by the Manchester goalkeeper. Oh, almost a goal for United in the first minute. What a save that was from the Manchester keeper. But the action comes in. There's a chance to do that corner. He's over to Big Dunk.
Yeah.
He's there. He flicks it on, but we can see that his thoughts are not on the game. He's thinking about his brother, and he's flicked it on too far. Neither Wilson or T are going to get to that. Manchester have latched onto the loose ball, and they're on the break. Wilson's out of position. We can see Brian Stokes. He's rushing across to cover. He's flown into a tackle there, but it's too late. There's a cross from Manchester. Stevens tries to cut it out, but Manchester's Dinger Bell is too quick. It's a goal. Oh, Bell fires in an unstoppable shot. It's 1-0 to Manchester.
Oh, wow.
Dinger. Oh, there's no chance for Shenton there. I don't think there was anything he could do on that. It's 1-0 to Manchester, and I can tell you it's a lead that they hold on to until half time. In the Manchester dressing room, the manager is telling his charges to keep the pressure on. A second goal can kill this game. In the second half, we see Nigel Clark, the Manchester tricky winner, beating Wilson. Well, it's a bit of skill, great skill there from the Manchester winger. He's firing across. It's knocked down. It's 2-0. Oh, dear, wow, disastrous start to the second half for United. It's 2-0. I've got to say again, another a chance that really Shenton had no chance with either of those goals there. And we're 15 minutes in now, and Benny Granger is injured. Well, Joe Pearson, he's going to have to bring on Terry Evans. And we see Hedgehog Jones now. He's on the ball, and he's showing that powerful running. He's bursting through midfield. Evans is screaming for the ball, but you know something for us? It's break time in the comic. We are told there's 10 minutes to go. 2-0 down. Surely there's no way back. United are never beaten. Turn to page 23 for more cup ties, thrills and spills. Well, we quickly thumb through the pages and we're on to 23. And there's Hedgehog Jones. It's a fantastic defence splitting pass from Hedgehog to Evans. Evans, he's bearing down on goal. It's a shot in his think bubble. It's going, no keeper is saving that. Oh, the Manchester keeper, he's done it again. He's pulled off a miraculous save, palming the ball out. And I tell you what, he's collected the rebound as well. He's palmed the shot to the side. And, a fantastic shot. But I've got to say that was actually proved to be United's last chance of the match. And we
Oh.
move to a very despondent dressing room. Pearson trying to rally his charges. You gave everything you had, but you've got to think about Saturday's league game. We've got to win to stand any chance of promotion. Oh, well, disappointment there. And Manchester, I've got to say, showing their class. I mean, it was a big step up, a great result on the Saturday, but they're a 2-0 defeat in the replay. Well, in the lead up to the next game, though, we've got some good news. Benny Granger is just a knock on his ankle, so he's going to be fit. Fred Rimmy has been given the all clear by the doctor for Saturday, and Willie Barnes' arm is coming out of plaster. We see big Duncan Fraser sending young Tommy home on the train back to Scotland, and it's Friday morning at the Mill, and news of a surprise transfer. And this is really interesting. This is just covered in one panel, and we see goalkeeper Bill Shenton shaking manager Joe Pearson's hand and thanking him for letting it all go through, and that Pearson knew that Shenton hadn't been happy. Pearson responding, I knew you gave your best right up to the end, but the money that Bundelect offered for you, there was no way that United could turn it down.
Bundelect is a great team name. Sorry,
yes,
just jump in there.
Yeah.
That's superb.
I could be wrong, but I'm going to say the Belgian Giants, Bundelect. There is no mention of what country they're from, but I'm guessing Belgium. Andy Bates says he's amazed that everyone had managed to keep the deal quiet. And well, so shocking transfer news there. Well, we've got drama in the boardroom, and now, you know, the United goalkeeper who's been a star of the first 10 editions, and as we know, is a fantastic keeper. What a loss for United, but we're not told the transfer fee, but big money, obviously, for Bill Shenton. And now we see that, again, the team sheet is hung up, and we see the players gathered around. And as the players look at the team sheet, Hedgehog asks, well, I'm going to go through on the team sheet. So now we've got John Clement, number 1, going in goal. Brian Stokes, 2. Benny Granger, 4. Tim Stevens, 5. 3, Tug Wilson. 6, Duncan Fraser. 8, Fred Rimmy as captain. 10, Alex Jones. 7, Terry Evans. 9, and this is interesting, Willie Barnes, but then in brackets, or F. James. And then 11, Josh T. and 12, Georgie Green. So Hedgehogs asked Willie Barnes, why you or Frank James? Barnes says, we're waiting to see if the ref lets me play with a light cast. Tim Stevens is saying it was a shock when the boss told them about Shenton. Evans quipping to Josh T, you'll be lost now, Josh? Nobody to argue with at training. T responding, I never did any arguing, Terry. I'm sorry to see the man go. He was the best keeper in England. We're going to find him hard to replace. I certainly echo those sentiments from Josh T. And of course, if you remember, Josh in training had a bit of a love-hate relationship. Well, I think Shenton wasn't always impressed with Josh firing in those rebounds at him. And well, now we moved. It's Saturday, the 21st. United are at home to Swanton. The fans chanting United as the players run out in the pouring rain. As the match kicks off, Captain Rimmy gives the ball to keeper John Clements to get him an early touch of the ball. Willie Barnes, though, he's feeling the force of the Swanton defenders, and he's really struggling with the aggression. And trust me, they're telling him that there's a lot more of that to come. So Barnes is going to be facing a tough day up front there. United, though, they're starting to get a foothold into the game. Fraser to Evans, onto Josh Cuperty. A great 1-2. Evans, goal! It's a great finish by the Welsh star.
Good
United,
start.
well, they really have started this great game. And from the restart, it's United again. They're just attacking again and again. It's all United here. Great performance. And now we see T beating his man centrally. Evans is calling for it out wide. What a burst of speed for Cuperty. He's gone past 2 Swanton defenders like they're not there. It's going all the way. Josh T, it's a lob. It's 2-0.
Wow.
What a goal that is. Josh Cuperty, we've mentioned this in the past. The only way to stop this forward is to bundle him over and foul him. Great burst of speed and a fantastic finish. 2-0 to United. And where the United are in complete control, and they're not in trouble here. But with just a couple of minutes to go, though, Clements in a one-on-one, he gets his hands stamped on in a challenge. Brian Stokes, the fullback, remember, the former reserve goalkeeper, he's having to put on the jersey as the injured keeper is going off. But it's in the last minutes, and United hold on for a vital victory there in their promotion charge. As the players get back, Andy Bates, saying it's tough luck on Clements getting injured just as he gets into the team. Andy Bates saying it's just not tough on him, boss. With no Bill Shenton and now no John, we're in big trouble for Wednesday's game against Lee Castle. Joe's grinning though. If I hadn't thought of that before I let Shenton go, the directors would have been entitled to be on the lookout for a new manager. I've been phoning around, and First Division Derby Rangers, well, there's a famous team from the comic book world, football comic book world there, have a top-class keeper who hasn't been able to reclaim his place after injury. Bates exclaims, Charlie Barr? You mean they'd never let him go and the transfer deadline has passed? Pearson responding, not a transfer, Andy, alone. Ted Ingram is putting it to his board this evening. We see Joe's phone ring and he is hoping that it's Ingram, the Derby manager, but it was his accountant who informs him that Joe has managed to sell his sports shop, but he's still in debt to the tune of £5,000. Joe says that he can pay with time. Pearson, looking concerned, puts down the phone. His thought bubble, without a good keeper, will be no chance of promotion. Without promotion, I'll be out of a job. Without a job, how can I get the £5,000 together? So at the moment, troubling times for the manager. At that very moment, there's a knock on his door, and Pearson, obviously feeling the pressure of things, he barks, "Go away, whoever you are." The door opens though, and it's Charlie Barr with a director. And Charlie Barr says, that's a fine way to welcome someone who's come a long way to tell you he'll do his darndest, I should say, to help you win promotion. The director, yes, the directors have agreed to the loan transfer. But Charlie insisted on coming over to meet you. Pearson, to give me the once over before he makes up his mind. I hope you like what you see, Charlie, or you can take me to a tall building somewhere and I'll jump off it. And straight away in the last panel, we see Charlie winking. Gee, it's nice to feel wanted. And I can see what he means there. And so that's how it ends. And as we know, there's always a footnote in the comic. Well, lads, we're out of the cup, but promotion is still our aim, and we can take 2 giant steps to reclaiming our rightful place in the First Division by winning our 2 next games. Next week, book your stand seat by ordering Champ now. But before I end it there, I'm just going to mention a couple of things. Firstly, on the back page, there's the Third United collection, and this time it's the Fred Rimmy fact file. We find out that Fred's actual name is Alfred Rimmy, and he's 26 and he signed for United at 17. He got his first England cap in 1981 against Hungary, and he has 9 caps and looked to be a regular, but his form slumped when United dropped down and got relegated. Rimmy, though, says he does not want to leave United, which is good news, but I do seem to remember something similar in Bill Shenton's profile a couple of editions ago. The last thing I wanted to mention, when I started this, I did say I'm going to ignore the cover and come back to it at the end. Well, here's my reason why. Because on the cover, we have the big text, "Miracle in the Rain," and United turn on the style after cup setback. So it kind of got me wondering, was the cover already telling us that United had lost the semi-final before we'd read it? I just thought that was interesting that was actually on the cover.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be took that the setback was the incident, the crash.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it can be read 2 ways, and maybe I read a bit too much into that, but I thought it was interesting.
Because when you put it up, when you said you'll come back, because I thought it gave the semi-final result away. I thought that's like Terry Evans celebrating because they won the semi-final.
Yeah, right. Okay, yeah.
You know, it can be
Can
read
I
either
add
way.
something, Joel?
Yep.
If you're able to go back to the final page of the strip, if that's okay. For those of you that are interested in Collector's Corner, of course, this issue would have been read in unison with the final edition of Spike number 65,
exactly,
where Joe Pearson appears and it signs Charlie Iron Barr. Just out of interest, Spike number 65, there, people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I must admit, I didn't mention it, but obviously we have mentioned it in the past. So just focusing on the pages from Champ. But it's interesting, as you say, that's that signing. But yeah, so
Brilliant
there we
stuff.
are. That's
Superb. That
number
was great.
10. And,
it's great to see the artwork. That's Mike White as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Brilliant.
The cover looks like
very.
Sorry.
No, go on, Podfather.
The cover looks like Joan Jett from Joan Jett and the Blackhearts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if
Yeah.
he likes rock and roll. Yeah, I don't
I
know.
love United. Federally wind. Yeah, anyway.
There needs a little bit more work on that one, Podfather, but it's certainly a good attempt. Well, yeah, we shall leave that there, and hopefully edition 11 maybe in the next pod or within the next couple of pods with that vital promotion push. And of course, how's Joe handling the pressure? Certainly an interesting statement how to greet Charlie Ironbar. Well, by God.
Brilliant work. Can I just say, brilliant work, Tangent. That was really enjoyable.
Cheers, Podfather. Thanks
I
very
think I'm a
much.
bit upset they've got out of the FA Cup as well at semi-final.
Yeah, wow. In all honesty, I do think, though, I mean, although back in those days, it was 1984, we still were getting teams from the lower divisions getting to finals. But I think it was a big ask. I think really for the story, I think it was the right thing actually showing. But it showed that they were competitive, right? They certainly gave Manchester a run for their
Yeah,
for
no,
their
it's
money.
good. I think it's a nice bit of reality, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah,
And they've had
definitely.
players out as well.
Yeah.
Plymouth Argyle almost in the third division when they got to the FA Cup semi-final.
Yeah,
Yeah.
against Watford, won it.
Yeah,
Was
Watford.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Yep, certainly happened. Right, gents. Sorry, I'm going to try and move
Just
the pod
laughing at
on, and we're to
Plymouth
our next
Argyle miss.
feature.
Keep going.
Judith Chalmers, Bygone, 1980s Scorcher Holiday Special.
Hello, everyone.
I
This is going to be the last of the holiday specials until the next summer holiday
Famous last
season.
words. Famous last
Next year.
words.
Well, we've got the winter specials will be hopefully starting soon because we're nearly in winter now, aren't we? So this is the Scorcher Holiday Special, which is from 1980, which I recently purchased with a batch of comics. So this is after around 6 years after the Scorcher comic actually finished. They were still releasing not only annuals but also holiday specials as well.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, and I think the cover, if you're watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see the color, the color cover that's featured on this holiday special, and it's a really great cover as well. It's a player celebrating a goal, but I just like that football that's featured on the front. The one it's
yeah.
it looks actually it's a
Yeah, that's
drawing,
one
but
of
it
my-
looks nearly real. I can't see who the make of the ball is, but it's a lovely.
That's one of my favourite balls from
Oh,
the
is it
70s
was
with
it
the red.
Cannon?
Yeah,
Is it the Cannon League one?
I
I
can
can't.
never
I thought it was a
remember.
white ball, a white case with red
Yeah.
With
banding
the red
around
panels.
it.
It was often used in the League Cup.
Right. It's a great ball,
Yeah.
though. Just looking at it. So yeah, so there's 64 pages, as it says at the front, and it was only 50p. And it's not an oversized book either. It's actually smaller than the comics of the time in height. And it says on the front European Championship Cup feature inside. So it was the European Championships of 1980.
Yeah.
And the
remember
feature inside, when I was looking at it, and it just covers England's games. And let me just go to the games. They only had 4 games to play. They played Belgium, Spain, Italy.
Yeah.
3 games, Belgium, Spain, and Italy. So I don't know if somebody can enlighten me because I won't remember. It was only 4. I don't know how the tournament worked then. They're not like nowadays where it's groups and then knockouts. At the time, it was like
Well,
It was
in
around robin.
in
Go on,
80
go
it would have been 2 groups of 4.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, would have been 2 groups of 4.
If I
Only
remember
8 teams
rightly,
qualified before that.
And then the 2 teams go to the semis. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
if I remember rightly, we drew against, and I know this will come back and bite me on the backside because I'll get this wrong. I think we drew 1-1 with Belgium. Didn't
Right.
Ray Wilkins score a brilliant goal? I think we lost to Spain, and we drew 0-0 with
0,
Italy.
yeah.
We had to beat Italy, I think.
Yeah,
or,
that's right.
I can't remember. Or maybe we lost 1-0 to Italy. Oh, I don't know. I should have checked beforehand.
Well,
Anyway,
I should
carry
have
on.
took the laundry. But yeah, I mean they're 3 hard teams, aren't they? I think England had struggled.
Well, that was, in all
No?
fairness, Bygone, because
Yeah.
that was the interesting thing of the old tournament with just 8 teams in the final. It was a very, very tough tournament. Very, very tough tournament.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah,
it's tough to qualify for those
Yeah.
sort of championships back then, let alone to actually.
So-
do
because
well.
I can. So Mute, you did pretty well. We lost. We drew the first game with Belgium, Ray Wilkins scoring. We lost 1-0 to Italy in the second game, and we beat Spain 2-1 in the last game, but that wasn't enough. That left us on 3 points, and both Belgium and Italy progressed. And Italy and Belgium drew 0-0 in the last game. So if there'd have been a positive result in that match, we would have squeezed through.
Yeah.
Another failure. All right, go on,
Yeah.
carry on, Byron.
Yeah, just on that happy note. Yeah, so well, I'm just gonna go through, just flick through the pages of this special. I'm not gonna hang off and review any of the stories, because none of them are, to be honest, I enjoy my holiday special, but none of them are that remarkable as in like because I think the stories have already finished for a lot of them. Nipper was already running in Tiger at the same time, and the Nipper story wasn't drew by, I don't even know who the artist is for the Nipper story. It's not the regular artist. And what it does show, it says that Nipper Lawrence is now a fiery young midfield star of Blackport. It no longer says his name, so he was like a teenage star, but now he's just a young star. And the Nipper that's depicted in this comic at the moment it's a slightly older Nipper, I think. If you can see the picture,
He does look
his
it.
hair's
Sorry,
more
just that
long.
artwork. Sorry again to interrupt. You know what? That reminds me very much of Millionaire Villa, actually.
I just think
the second artist of
I
Millionaire
think
Villa.
you're right, mate. I think you're right, actually.
on the if you can see on YouTube, I've copied my page, and at the bottom left it looks like there's like it stayed a bit too long in the printer's press. I don't know if it's intentional, because the bottom left, can you see that player who's
The white,
retracting back?
yeah.
It's not even black, and it looks like I've drew it. It's so I don't know if something had happened there. It might have got mangled and they've replaced it. Yeah, but Nipper is a lot older. He actually goes to visits a nightclub as well and different things like that. So you never saw that much he visited youth clubs, but not a nightclub.
I suppose, I mean, if we were trying to follow this chronologically, it started in 70, didn't it, Nipper? And this is 10 years later.
Yeah.
And he was about 15, 16. So
but I still think he was depicted as that in the Tiger, wasn't he? He never
yeah,
aged.
you're right. They were still quite a younger.
Yeah, I was always amazed that his friend, was it Bateman?
Mike Bateson.
Mike Bateson. He was an under-23s international, and I always thought he was like late 20s because he was his mentor.
Yeah, me too. Exactly. I know it's weird when we saw that. Yeah.
I must admit, it's something I'd like to revisit, because obviously in the early Nipper Lawrences, wasn't it? Was it Len Duggan? Was it Len? It was definitely somebody. Duggan was the star centre forward for Blackpool.
Was he not like one of his rivals or something? I can't remember. I'll have to go
No,
back.
I think Len Duggan was a goodie, but
Was he a goodie?
No, that was Bill Oddie.
Hey,
So
he's back.
And there's no Podfather.
The Nipper story, in effect, is it's an FA Cup third round match, and they play in a second division team away, and they play in the game, and it's 1-1. It ends in a 1-1 draw, and Nipper's obviously annoyed, and then somebody challenges him to score a hat trick in the replay, and they bet him £100 that he can't do it, and Nipper says I will, and obviously Nipper scores a hat trick in the next game, and it works out that it was all a ruse. It was actually somebody who was friends with the club who had the bet with Nipper to make him score his hat trick, which did happen, and they got through to the next round. I think with Nipper, I don't. Sometimes even reading the comics, sometimes I don't know if he needed always something to stimulate him to make him play better. Anger, wasn't it? He was always motivated by
a bit
anger.
like the Incredible Hulk, wasn't he? Yeah, he needed something to.
Yeah, it was always like his caravan was burning down or something. Sorry.
Sorry to interrupt. Sorry, you did just mention him going to nightclubs and stuff like that. He's probably met up with Hedgehog Jones and Lock Smithers.
But he always needed something to motivate him. I think when his football went off if he wasn't motivated. The next story that features in there is Billy's Boots. Again, it's not the original artist.
No.
As we've said already, it happens, doesn't it, in summer specials? Because I think we've spoken, obviously, in the past about the pressures that artists were under to get stories and things like that.
Yeah.
And for one, I would have always, I obviously not this early, but I always bought the specials either way, and I still enjoyed the story. And in this one again, he's not got his boots again, and he has to wear pumps because his boots are being repaired. I think we know the story. Yeah, he doesn't play well. Then he gets his boots repaired, and they come back, and only one gets repaired, not the other. And he ends up with one boot, but he managed to have a great game with one foot and scores a back heel and different things like that.
Ah.
So he saves the day one-footed, and gets chaired off the pitch at the end.
If only Roy Race knew that.
Oh no.
Yeah,
It was
very
all-
good, very
I
good.
remember Roy Race went through a period though where in the late, I think it was the mid 70s, where, because when I've read like some of the comics, he had a favorite pair of boots. I don't know if you remember, and they were getting beaten up, and he got one of his, I think he was a French or a French player, wore a similar pair of boots and swapped them over, and he played well again. I just remember that from one of the
Yeah,
Roy the Rovers
yeah.
monthly
It was,
stories.
I think about 76 or something like that. There's the French mate. Yeah, I think he was gonna. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
they
rings
have
a
the
bell
same
with me.
size shoes and different things like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
just brings a memory back like that. Then the next thing that I've come across in here, and I think it's in the Scotch comics, and it's a Jimmy Jinx. It's always a humorous story, drawn by the same artist as who drew Face Ache and different things like that in the Beano and different things like that. I don't know if you'd recognise the artist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure I can't remember the artist's name, but when I've looked him up, he's from my hometown of Salford as well.
Oh God, it was Reed. Oh God, I should know this. I do know
Ken
it.
Reed.
Ken
Ken
Reed.
Reed.
Yeah, of course it's
Yeah.
Ken Reed. Yeah, yeah. He did loads of these, didn't they?
Yeah,
Brilliant.
I think they're quite. I'm surprised they've never released a book, because they've released books for his other characters and some of his other characters. So Frankenstein and different things. Anyway, yeah. Excuse me. And then we come to the next story, which his features is Bobby of the Blues, and which I've never read fully, obviously, because it was in Scorcher, but it's something I'm going to have to try and find digitally, his story, because I think it's quite interesting, because he plays for, obviously it's Liverpool City it's in, and obviously they're the Balloons and Bobby's playing for them. But it says here Bobby Booth was the new star forward of First Division Liverpool City. Now I don't know if someone can correct me, but I don't know if this is a reprint from an annual that I maybe not have read, or from an earlier.
I've got to admit,
Oh.
I don't recognise that at the moment, but I'm not sure that I have read all of the Scorcher annuals and things, but I don't recognise that from the artwork that again, as I know from Bobby of the Blues, and certainly not from the Scorcher pages.
No, and I really like this artwork as well. It's different. I've never seen this artist much either, but it's just the way.
I think when I saw this, I was thought to myself, wow, it feels like it's almost like an original Bobby of the, like a new original story, because as you would see Bobby of the Blues sometimes in annuals, but they, as you say, they would be reprints from Scorcher.
Yeah.
But this,
it's
yeah,
just
because
really
he actually became
star forward.
He ended up as player manager.
That's right. Yeah.
In '74, before it stopped in Scorcher, he was player manager. So this is 6 years later. So yeah, I think they've just kind of thought let's do a one-off story contained. Yeah.
I mean, it's a good story. This one's about. I think it's something that could be now. He's obviously the star striker, that new star striker for Liverpool or the Blues, and the television company want to do a feature on him. So they want to follow him on the football pitch. They're following him at training at his home. They've got him eating with his family and different things like that. And then obviously his form drops. And he stops scoring goals and different things like that. So he tells the manager, and the manager just says to him, "You've just got to forget about it. We've got important matches coming up. Just forget the cameras are there." And he still plays badly. And then the manager tells him, "Right, the cameras have gone." And when they tells him the cameras have gone, he has a great game and scores a hat trick. And then they say at the end, the final panel finishes. Our plan worked, but don't tell Bobby just yet that the cameras disappeared, because he might get angry. So it all worked out well in the end.
It is quite interesting that you mention a possible TV show. I've actually got access to the theme tune of what it would have been, if I may. And I guess that's why they call them the Blues.
Oh yeah, time on my hand. No.
Oh God, no. Oh God. Oh,
surely it's Liverpool City once again in the news. But anyway.
Hey. Sorry, carry on.
God, I think I've got the Blues after that.
I blew it then, didn't I? I'm going to stop trying to be the singer of the group. It's not happening. The next story that features is a written story, and it's Bird of Paradise Hill. And again, without reading Scorcher, I don't know if this is actually was a picture story in the comic.
It was a picture story. Yeah, it was in the very first one. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay, so obviously, with my love for written stories, I've not yet read that one either.
Yeah.
The artwork there looks a bit like Doug Max did, but I couldn't be sure.
It looks
similar.
It's similar. I don't know if it is or not. I don't know if it's. I can't tell because there's a few other drawings and I can't tell if it's either his early work or it's him. It looks like the same art. Did Doug Max draw Lags 11?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, it might be him then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it is because bottom right hand corner that is Kevin Taylor. So England international.
Yeah.
In a penny.
Yeah, I was just going to say. Yeah.
Right,
moving on, bygone.
What I'll do, Matt, I'll send you another picture, and you can see I'll send you another picture, and there is a picture where it does actually like Kevin Taylor in there, one of the players.
Okay, all right, okay.
And Lags 11, that lad's got glasses on. Didn't the leader have glasses on?
Yeah, brains.
Yeah.
Brains, big brains.
Yeah.
Brains, faggots.
Only draw 6 characters, and they're all the same. The next story is Hotshot Hamish.
Hey, well done, Getty.
Hey.
Look at that, that's amazing. I mean, can I just come in there for listeners and viewers? We had to rehearse that 10 times, and it's only now I've had to insert it. He actually got it wrong, but I've inserted the correct recording. So brilliant. Carry on, Byron.
But we weren't going to mention it.
We weren't going to mention.
Obviously, this time he's not with Mighty Moose. It's just on his own.
Hey,
you are doing so well, Bygone.
If there's anybody out there called Mighty Mouse, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. But yeah, with this one, this is another story, and I think this is by this is the original artist. I think, even though I'm not sure it's the artist.
I don't think it is.
Hotshot Hamish.
No, that's not Shafino.
No, that's later on. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, but I think you're right.
No,
later on.
I think it's the one that
sometimes you're getting annuals and
special. Sometimes this artist, when Hotshot, I've got a couple of tigers where he's on the front cover and it's not the main artist. It's this artist.
Right.
Yeah. I've seen the artist before.
Yeah. It's not unfamiliar.
Was it Nipper? I've never seen a Nipper artist before.
No, I've not.
But his boots on, I don't think.
No. But again, my comic knowledge is only football. They may have drawn in other comics and different things like that. But again, this one is Hotshot Hamish. He's playing for Princess Park. But they're in a end of season match against Alamora Aces, and he's been told that there's a car. If you score the most goals, the first person to reach 30 goals in the season wins a brand new car, super new car. And
it's quite a nice car, actually. I don't know, what's that, a Corvette or something like that? I don't know. I can't remember a Corvette.
It looks like a racing car, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Hamish has got, I think he's got 28 goals, 29 goals, and all his teammates are telling him he's going to win it. But there's another player, one of the Aces players called Jock. I don't think of Jock McNettam. I love him. And dispatch him and different things like that. Yeah, so Jock McNettam's also got 28 goals. So the story becomes like a competition between them both. But the Aces have got some dirty players. They're forever pulling Hamish back as he's about to score. The referee doesn't see it. And they both end up on 29 goals. And then in the second half, Jock nearly scores again with an header, but Andy Spatcham saves the ball, and then Hamish hits the ball, and the goalie saves this one, and it's coming towards the end now, end of the match, and towards the end, Hamish is through again, and as he's running with the ball, the players grab hold of him again to try and pull his shirt back, but Hamish just keeps running, and he brings a play with him, and the player's flying through the air. Hamish scores, and it looks like it's all set up, and he's going to win the car. So he wins the car. Gets it outside, and the manager, Mr. McWhacker, says, "Hamish, get in the car. You can drive it now." And Hamish says, "No, I've just had lessons. I've only just started lessons. Can you leave the car outside for me?" So McWhacker gets in the car and smashes it straight into a lorry. And that's the end of the car. And Hamish isn't bothered. He said, "It doesn't matter. I like riding my bike anyway." That's it. So, all that story. They had a goal competition. He won the car, lost the car, and he's not that bothered. He's on his bike. So it's a nice little story.
Interestingly, did you say the keeper was called Andy Spatcham?
I'm sure it is. It says it here. Let me
Yeah,
just
it
Spatcham,
is,
yeah. Spatcham, yeah.
I just thought, just seriously, just maybe, because it's funny names all the way through. A keeper gets rid of the ball, doesn't he? Maybe it was like a play on Dispatcham. Do you know?
Oh, right,
Seriously.
yeah.
yeah,
I always
might
liked
be.
the names. I
Yeah,
never
yeah,
found them
good
daft
shout.
or silly. Like Wallace. What was he called? The winger on the wing.
Wee Wally Campbell.
Wee Wally Campbell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's some great names, and the rivals had great names as well.
Well, the rivals always had McKickham Rangers and whatever.
Yeah. Oh, it was great. Yeah, I never found it. I mean, it was silly, but not too silly. You still got
No,
involved
it's
in the
no,
story.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's
And
brilliant.
then the last story in the comic is Jack and Jimmy, and I don't think
Oh.
anybody else could draw Jack and Jimmy.
Look
To
at
be
that artwork.
fair, I
Superb,
think
isn't it?
it's absolutely fantastic
Yeah.
artwork.
Classic.
And do you know? Obviously, I love drawing my own comics. When I've talked about it before, and just looking at that page there. What I've put on, if you look on YouTube, it's typical Jack and Jimmy. They're both playing for the same Castleburn City, both playing together at this point. So we 6-7 years on, and they're still in the team. I don't think the story's moved on at all. They've not aged or anything like that. But that just gets you in the mood to draw and copy that picture. I don't know if anybody.
It's brilliant. It is.
If some of the
Wonderful.
readers want to feed back on that as well, did any of these, like Jack and Jimmy, did any of them just get inspired to just draw pictures and copy them? Because it does me. I think it's absolutely fantastic artwork. Just looking at the stand in the background, it looks like a 70s, 80s stand. It doesn't look. I'd love to see how they draw modern day football now, because it just captures that 80s period, very early 80s period. I've not actually read this story, so again, but as I said, the artwork through it is fantastic. It looks like they've had
So much depth in that.
Yeah, there is in every single panel.
Yeah, it was great.
What I'll do, Matt, is I'll send you more pictures because
and I
it
can
looks
put them
like
on
there's a clash with a coach, and the artwork is absolutely fantastic. I'll send you the pictures, and then everyone can have a look on YouTube if you don't own the comic. I won't send them all.
I mean, just on that, and I know we're going to touch on future shows later. But when corresponding with David Hunt last time, and he mentioned that he was in touch with Barry Mitchell. I did ask him for his contact details, and he sent me his address, and because he hasn't got an email address, so I sent him I sent him a letter. I sent him a letter last week, old-fashioned style. Posted it in an envelope.
We really are a proper football comic podcast, sending letters.
Sending letters, yeah. So who knows? So I'm just putting out there, listeners and viewers, and if we could get Barry Mitchell on that'd be. I mean, whether he's hopefully he's still with us, and hopefully he gets into contact with us. But I mean, we could potentially be speaking to the person who actually drew this art. That'd be amazing.
And my angle as well would be Napa Goes for Gold, which I've mentioned many times.
In all fairness, Barry Mitchell, so many things that he drew. I mean, obviously in later years he actually did draw Roy the Rovers as well. So
that'd be wonderful to get him on.
I'm not sure. I think he might have done the Marx Brothers as well. So because quickly, as you're talking Jack and Jimmy, in 1983, Terry Marks was on loan at Castleburn City as well.
Right, I can't remember. Would they have the same kit?
Yep, did indeed. Yep.
Was any of them playing?
No, it mentioned Castleburn. What I always found interesting, it mentioned he was on loan at Castleburn, and it was the same kit, but there was no mention of Jack or Jimmy Chesley.
That's because they could have been the same person.
They could have been.
I think they're the same person. I think Steve Marks definitely.
Does that bring them
that's a reveal for a much later show.
Sorry.
I was going to say, does that bring them into the Melchester Rovers world?
Yeah.
Love it. It's all good, isn't it?
Well, I mean, as I've stated before, and with the help, I think, of Eagle Rich and others as well, the Rovers sphere, as I like to call it, incorporates about 35 stories in total, which is amazing.
Yeah.
I might touch upon that again in the future.
Yeah. But anyway, it's another, as I say, the detail is absolutely fantastic. And just flicking through now, it is about how many pages now? 10. It's a 10-page story. So what I might do is in the future, I might cover this in an episode. it's too much to cover in one episode.
That's got to be something from Score and Raw, isn't it? That's got to be
I'm going to tell. I could be wrong, but that's a reprint from
It's
one of the
definitely a reprint.
comics. I'm sure
Yeah,
that's a
yeah.
reprint, but it'd be
Yeah.
interesting to
It'd be a great
maybe
story to
look into that.
do.
Yeah, would
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, I will. I'll have a look. I'll have a, as I say, I'll have a read through it. And then I've only received this in the last few weeks anyway. This Scorcher Holiday Special, so I've just added to. Yeah, and that's it. That's it. A lovely 64
Brilliant.
pages, and it's just like I say, interesting the different artists and things like that. Hope you
No,
enjoyed
well,
the read through.
no, yeah, fantastic, and some
Wonderful.
interesting stories. Always good to look back at those. Just one last thing, apologies, bygone, and it's to do with the real football, because I was looking at, in actual fact, those European Championships in 1980, 2 groups of 4, and in actual fact, the top teams and the group went straight to the final. So it was a
Right. No
no
semi-finals.
semi-final. So second in the
That's
group, there was a
interesting.
3rd place playoff back then, but the straight to the final.
Oh.
Well, all interesting stuff, but if you don't mind, everybody, sorry, go on, Podfather.
I'm saying that's amazing. That's just blown my mind, honestly.
Especially now in money orientated, let's have a game for a game's sake.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, indeed. Right. That was brilliant, but I tell you what, we've got an action-packed and a fantastic episode. Of course, I think they're all good. But Mute Button, something I've really been looking forward to here, because especially, correct me if I'm wrong, your feature is from one of our friends of the show, has provided you with some information for this section.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you, O Tangential One. And I do have a bit of an introduction which Gold did earlier, but I'll see if this works now.
It's a Billy's Boots special coming from Whitta from Twitter, now X.
Brilliant.
Yeah, we called it. I mean, Gold, you probably could have tried to do that live, but I don't know if you're.
Well, I did promise that he would be digitally enhanced at some point, and there he is.
I'll try it live if you want. You ready?
Go on.
Go
on.
It's a Billy's Boots special coming from Whitta from Twitter, now X.
Brilliant stuff. Right, yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just find on. So yeah, I'll tell you a bit of the story. So Hamish Whitta, I think all of our listeners would have knows Hamish Whitta, who's one of our listeners from New Zealand, and we've corresponded for a few years now on, well, funny enough, Twitter. And he contacted me just only a few weeks ago actually, and he said he's done a piece of work, and he sent it over to me. He said, "Oh, I wonder, would you be interested in what he's done?" And so that's what I'm going to present now. So I'm just going to share my screen. And can you see that on? Can you see it on there?
Yep. It's on the big screen in the studio. For those of you YouTube viewers, you'll be able to view this. For the listeners, obviously, you've got the dulcet tones of the Mute Button to take you through this.
So, yeah, I did invite Hamish to come on, but it's not for everybody to come on the show. So, and plus the fact we'd probably be getting up at 9 o'clock in the morning or something like that, which would be a nightmare. But yeah, so these are his words. So I'm gonna try and use them word for word. So brace yourself, he says, for some Class A football comic nerdery. Billy's Boots by the numbers. So since we live in an age of data-driven football, I thought it would be interesting to explore the numbers behind Billy's Boots and see what insights I could uncover. All data is drawn from Billy's Boots as featured in the pages of Scorcher, Tiger, Eagle, Roy the Rovers from 1970 to 1987, plus various holiday specials and annuals. Before addressing the matter of the lost boots, I took notes of all the goals Billy scored over the years. He played for 75 unique teams, racking up an impressive 412 goals. Of course, it was for his beloved Groundwood that he scored most, banging in 178 goals for the famous red and white stripes. He also scored several own goals, totaling 9, with 3 of these while playing for Groundwood. One oddity was that he managed to score a drop goal while forced to play rugby for Hadfield Technical School. While his most impressive performance came early in his career, a match where he scored 8 goals while playing for Ganton Hill Junior School.
Wow.
I
Brilliant.
remember playing for Ganton Hill.
Mm.
I was halfway through this project when I thought I should be recording all the different ways he scored. but by then it was too late to go back and start again. However, my eye test tells me he's mostly scored from within the 18-yard box or sliding in at the far post. And I do remember loads of those sliding in at the far post. Definitely. His boots just telling him to go round. For some reason, his boots said, go to the far post. He also had a fair number of headers, although it's hard to say with conviction without the numbers to back me up. One thing we can say with certainty is that Billy was right-sided player, and he never once scored with his left foot.
Oh,
But
wow.
but I do question that, Hamish. So, because there's some pictures. Anyway, I digress. Another interesting stat that I've failed to record is his assists. The chief recipient of these would be, of course, Jimmy Dawson.
Yes.
And again, if I go with my eye test, it seems that Billy assisted goals at a third of the rate of scoring on them. Although, once again, that's purely gut feeling.
Brilliant.
So his football stats, and he's put them here in the table. It's got total number of unique football teams, 75, and he does list them, and I'll show you those later.
Oh gosh, I'm getting so excited.
I know. Well, you can imagine me when I saw this. When he sent it through to me, I was like, "Oh my god, this is incredible!"
Oh, this is just brilliant.
Total number of goals scored, 412. Number of own goals, 9, and goals scored at the rec ground, unsanctioned. So I'm guessing that's not 29
in the training and whatever. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah. So we carry on. Again, Hamish continues. I thought it would be interesting to compare his goal-scoring exploits against Lionel Messi, given that they both had a large number of goals over a long career. So here's how the two goal-scoring machines compare. So he's got Billy versus Messi, 412 goals comparison.
Bloody hell. This could get really messy.
Oh.
So you've got total goals. So you've got Billy, and you've got brackets, school, youth, and amateur football. And Lionel Messi, first 412 goals were official professional goals. Teams played for, Billy, 75. Lionel Messi, primarily Barcelona and Argentina.
A little bit of difference there.
Yeah. Time to score 412 goals. Billy took 17 years.
Ooh.
Lionel Messi took 10 years and 8 months.
Well, can I sorry, Hamish and mute button, just to interrupt there though. But at the same time,
just say, if it's a hard question, I'm going to let Hamish answer.
No, it's not a question. But at the same time, in Billy's defence, it might have been 17 years, but he didn't age in those 17 years, so it was a lot harder for him. He was, he was a man really trapped in a boy's body, still playing schoolboy football.
Oh, I say.
And he's scoring him with his left foot there.
That's what I mean. That one he's scoring with his left. That's what I mean. That was totally.
Yeah.
I was just on the pictures on this presentation are ones I just kind of snipped from various different
Hamish, we think it's brilliant, but obviously mute button has taken exception with one of your stats.
I didn't take exception, Hamish. I'm not. But all I'm saying is that one with his left foot.
He found one in 17 years.
Yeah, 17 years. I don't trust a word of what Hamish has put now because he's got one wrong. He's got level. So Billy, he's a fictional schoolboy / amateur.
Yeah,
I love that level, the fictional schoolboy level.
Yeah, I love it.
And you got Lionel Messi, professional, world class.
Yeah.
And then carry on. Key differences in competition. Obviously, Messi's goals were scored at the highest professional level. Billy's were in youth and school football. Obstacles. Billy's main challenge was keeping hold of his magical boots. Messi faced the world's best defenders. So a bit of a comparison.
Well, I'd be honest with you, though. Messi never had to chase after a bus going down a main road to get his boots back. And I think, I don't care what defenders you come up against, avoiding cars in traffic to get your boots back is much harder.
I've never seen Lionel Messi on a bus. Is that what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I've never seen him on a double-decker.
Brilliant. I love this.
Billy, I think with Roy Keane would just say, it's his job. And it was Billy's job to score these goals, and he did it.
Goal rate: Messi averaged over 35 goals per season at his peak. Billy's rate was lower at 24 goals per year, but impressive for a schoolboy. And I think everybody can agree it's impressive for a schoolboy.
Yeah, without doubt.
And don't forget, he hardly played. He was always forgetting his boots and just coming on a sub. And
imagine like the mental anguish he would have been through his life every month.
Exactly.
Summary: Billy's 412 goals are legendary in his fictional world, but Messi's 412 goals were scored against the best in the world in 10 years and 8 months. Both are remarkable in their own context, and I think everybody can agree with Hamish's words there. Don't you
I
agree?
do,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I am going to say, for me, scoring goals in the fiction world at that rate is much more impressive because, in a season, Messi's playing 40 odd games a season, and Billy's, he'd be lucky if he was getting even into 20 games in a season. So, a
and you're right,
fictitious
because
world
Billy
is
was
much
playing with so
harder.
many. Yeah, and Billy was playing with 75 teams. So
Exactly.
they're going to have to
Exactly.
get to know which
No,
runs he's making and which runs
exactly.
he's not making.
Exactly.
I mean,
but
anyone
it would
can score
take, it would
412
take,
goals for Barcelona and Argentina.
The only
exactly.
thing, though, I bet.
It would go on, Michael.
No, I was just going to say, I bet Billy was taller than Messi as well.
Even the 12-year-old. Yeah,
as you
maybe.
said, I was thinking it would take Deadshot King's boots at least two appearances to figure out what runs the midfielders and wingers would make and where to move Billy on the pitch.
Yeah, well, maybe though, and I'm going off a bit of a tangent. Maybe Lionel Messi has some boots from an old
Wow.
Argentine player.
Di Stefano's boots. Maybe
Deadshot.
Di Stefano's boots.
Luke.
Messi's
Deadshot.
moccasin.
Pardon, would you say?
Messi's moccasins, he's saying.
I'd read that. I'd read that.
Uh,
And also, there's the Argentine connection.
Yeah.
Schiaffino. I know. No,
Schiaffino.
Schiaffino. He could do the artwork for Messi's boots.
Exactly. Messi's
Messi's
boots.
moccasins.
Yeah, that would have been
To
brilliant.
be honest, I think the fact that he's actually gone through and found out how many goals he scored is phenomenal.
Well, carrying on, there's more.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
this is
go on.
There's
brilliant.
more.
Yeah.
There's more. Sorry,
There's
Joel,
more.
can you do the impression? There's more.
And there's more.
Oh, that's a cracker. Oh no, that's Jimmy Cricket one.
There's the other Northern Irish one.
Hang on.
Jimmy Cricket.
Here we go. Ready? Hey, come here. There's more.
You got to come here as well. Brilliant.
Brilliant.
Okay,
brilliant.
so carrying on. Boot losses.
Oh God, this is fantastic.
I told you this is brilliant. This is why I haven't told you. I didn't. Sorry,
Yeah.
just for other listeners and viewers, I didn't tell the guys exactly what was in this presentation first because I knew this. I'd get this reaction. So boot losses. Billy lost his boots in 80 distinct ways.
This is brilliant.
Here are the top 5 most frequent causes. The top one is lost, thrown away brackets by others, 14, stolen, 13, damaged, 7, and repaired, 6.
Oh, fantastic.
And these are the complete list
Oh.
of Billy's boots mishaps. Shall I run through them quickly just for...
Go, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
you've got to. No, you've got
Okay,
to. Sorry.
ready? Let's see if I can do this. Grand through the boots and rubbish. At the repair shop, can't be fixed, finds a new pair. Thrown in the river by bullies. Grand swap for new ones. Boots split, repair shop. Billy breaks in and is arrested. School minivan sinks in the river with boots. Confiscated by
that's my
Grand
favourite one.
for poor school grades. We've got his boots. Locked in a classroom. Bully on a bike tosses them down the railway embankment. A fire on the embankment later burns them.
Oh, Hamish, this is
Boots
fantastic.
split. Repaired by a French cobbler who used to make dead shots boots.
Oh, we're back to
The
the French
housekeeper
boots.
threw the boots out while Gran was in hospital. Forced to wear training boots on a hard surface.
Yeah.
A dog stole his boots. Deadshot takes them to the Deadshot Museum of Past Footballers. Taken by the boot boy at the club. Indoor five-a-side, no boots. The boarding house owner threw away. Stolen by a football rival. Left boots at a football trial. Boots stitching. Rots in the rain. Only one is repaired by game day. Left boots at home. Climbed in the window. Aunt sends the boots away to be repaired. Stolen by a disgruntled goalkeeper and thrown into the sea. Left boots in the dressing room, then locked up by a cleaner who goes away for 3 weeks. Boots given to milkman by his grand.
Why? What did the
milk that
milkman
week.
do?
Yeah, take these boots. Do you know they used to belong to a famous footballer, Deadshot King? You must have heard of him. You'll get something on an auction site.
Go on, go.
Stolen by a crocodile.
Well, sorry to interrupt. The milkman was hoping to use the boots for a good delivery.
Studs fail referee inspection. Thrown over the fence by a couple of professional players. Boots were stolen by a rival competing for the same place in the team and thrown into the river. It's another one in the river, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bloody
Boots
hell.
left on the bus, later found up a tree. At the repair shop, delays. Boots lost from the gym. Left in the French stadium after Billy is subbed off at half-time. Lost Boots through a hole in a duffel bag. Boots fall to pieces on the field, then are thrown away by the dustman. Found and mended at the cobbler, but the shop closed when Billy needed them. Drops Boots down a well. I don't know if it's too near a well.
That was the episode where Lassie
mean,
made a special guest appearance. What is
with-
it, Lassie? Is the
With his
Boots
track
down
record,
the well?
yeah, it was Skip and Lassie. I'd stay well clear of Wells if I was him. For his Gran takes the boots to the cobbler to be repaired. A fire at the cobbler's shop, and it looks like the boots are destroyed, but the cobbler manages to save them. Boots left on the bus.
So can I just stop you
again.
because that's the one that I always remember.
Can you
and there's a
stop me? I
brilliant
need to have a drink. I'm going to pass out. Carry on.
cover of Billy running down in the traffic after the bus when he'd left them on the bus.
Yeah, I think Frank Spencer was on the bus, wasn't it? At the
Yeah.
same time.
Oh, brilliant.
Stolen by opposition players, later found in a quarry. Lost in a luggage mix-up in Holland.
Oh, brilliant.
Thrown away by the area team's manager. Thrown into the brazier to be incinerated, but saved by Billy.
I bet that was a close call.
Brazier.
Yeah.
We're nearly there. Boot kicked out of the hotel window and into the swimming pool. Shrinks when drying. Billy plays in odd boots. Groundsman throws Boots away. Boot falls down well.
Again?
Only one boot.
Another boot.
Only
Was
one
it the same
boot.
well? Yeah, one boot. Yeah. Boots left on the school playing field. Found at rubbish tip. Boots left at the bus stop.
At the bus stop. Yeah.
Stolen by a dog.
Oh,
That was the one. Do you remember that one? Yeah.
yeah.
Boots put in a
Oh,
rubbish bin by a rival. Put in a fire by a rival.
They're fireproof, aren't they?
Now, Nails
Nails.
put in boots.
Made of
Boots, yeah.
asbestos.
What's in boots? Nails put in boots. Billy was hit by a car and lost the boots from his bag. Hit by a car, lost the boots from his bag. Billy's gran buys new boots and throws his old ones away down the rubbish chute. Park keeper kicks into the lake. Burned next to the fire at home. Still going. Taken from the dressing room by a smaller kid. Left on the kitchen counter at home. Thrown into the quarry by Billy. Bad luck Boots. Repaired at the cobbler's. Thrown off the pier by a bully. Bot capsizes with Boots. Boats, I think boats capsizes with Boots. Frogman rescues them. Boots stolen by a millionaire industrialist. Millionaire industrialist.
Look at this one. I like
Can I
this
just
one.
say, now we actually know Deadshot King's boots were responsible for Twitter. That's how it's an industrialist that started Twitter.
This is my favourite one. The one coming up.
Boots were stolen at the park by a tram. Boots were stolen by a teammate to help him play better. Fell off a bike into the river. Boots stolen by a dog. Dogs. Always those dogs.
Yeah.
Never by cats. Boots thrown out of the window and lost in the bushes. Boots thrown out by Auntie and taken away by the dustman. I think Boots, not the Auntie, taken away by the dustman.
Yeah.
Boots dropped on a coal barge.
Oh, brilliant.
You
Brilliant.
can imagine
Keep
the
go-
right. Oh my
still
God,
more.
the Carino.
Still more. I think it must be near the end. Yeah, okay. Near the end. Bag with Boots washed overboard. Boots stolen by two thieves, thrown into dustbin. Boots thrown down well again. Boots filled with concrete. Boots thrown out by microchips manager.
I like the microchips.
Yeah, do you remember microchip? Billy throws Boots in the river. There's loads of Boots here, sorry.
Yeah.
Billy throws Boots in the river. He's had enough of them by now. He's not getting rid of these Boots.
Oh, dear.
Left Boots at the grocery store. They are found and chucked out. Left at home. Took the wrong Boots to the game. Thrown in the canal by bullies. Left in a box and Gran threw it away. Left on the train. And finally, left by the river, put in a dustbin by a passerby.
He's got one thing to do in his life. The only thing that helps him is them boots. And he just gets rid of him. You can imagine the writers, they must have had a dice and they must have, like you played that game.
What's it? An RPG dice, a 24-sided die.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
Lost them while trying to
That is incredible.
summon a demon.
What I want to know is where the hell does he live I mean, where are all these seas, lakes, rivers,
Ah,
everywhere? Oh,
A coal barge. A coal
oh,
barge.
it's brilliant.
Oh.
This is brilliant. It's brilliant. Oh,
It's just
Hamish,
superb,
this is
Hamish.
brilliant work. This
It
is
carries on.
brilliant work.
This is not over yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cricket. Okay, it's cricket. Here he goes. Hamish continues. Billy never played as much cricket as I thought. Sometimes the season would be barely 3 games before we were flung back into football season.
Yeah.
It's noticeable in later years that Billy didn't play cricket at all, and the story
Mm.
remained focused on his adventurous life or purely on football. Cricket stats: total wickets taken 45, total runs scored 857. Brilliant stats. This is superb.
Yeah.
Average runs per match 26.7.
It won't
for
limit
cricket-
his boots, though, don't forget.
Mm.
Yeah, cricket boots mishaps.
Mishaps.
Left at the boarding house, boots fall off the bike and into the river. Wet boots fall to pieces, repaired. Boots taken for cricket exhibition. Cricket boot split while kicking a football. You can't
Oh,
cross
come
the,
on, Billy.
you can't
Come on.
cross the streams, Billy. You know.
Yeah, come on, Billy. That was stupid.
Yeah, why? You know, like when he lost
Ye-
his boots, why did he never think, I'll get me a pair of cricket boots? Wonder
Well,
why.
they didn't work. They didn't work. as
Well,
we just
because
said.
it only works when you play cricket.
Exactly.
Not
Yeah,
football.
exactly.
My God, have you not been listed? Go through the whole list again.
Oh, this is
Uh,
brilliant.
And
Glad he
okay, I'm
didn't
not
do
going to
javelin.
list all these, but you've got all the
Oh,
goals. Not
yeah,
all the goals, but
all
these are the goals
teams.
scored for the 75 different teams. And so you've got there. I'll pull out some of them. You've got so Bingley Road School was the first
Yeah.
ever school we played for. You got Radley Road Rovers. I remember them. He scored 7 for them. Ganton Hill Junior School, 16, and that was 8 goals in 1 match. Amherst Albion Youth, Kenwood Technical School. Remember those when we played for
Yeah.
those?
Well,
19.
there's 2 teams that surely Bygone's got to be picking out there. A goal for the holiday camp team and Fenway Holiday Camp.
Yeah,
5
they're the
goals
first
for
ones I
them.
saw there.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
just trying to
Brilliant.
look in this Scorcher Special to you. They played in that.
Oh yeah, go and see if you can find out. Yeah.
My 2 favourite teams are well down the
Farm
list.
Athletic.
I can't
Farm
see them
Athletic
yet.
he's playing for.
Who?
Farm Athletic.
Farm Athletic. Okay, we'll see if we can find them on here. He's got England schoolboys on there.
Yeah.
England youth trials. Fenway United, the Merry Downers.
Police 11.
Ramsden.
Is there more
Areas-
teams?
Yeah, these are all the
Yeah.
teams.
Yeah.
Merlin FC, Marvin's Marvels, Racers, Redstone Rovers,
My
Police
favourite
team,
team still hasn't come up yet.
Portsea Holiday Camp team,
Bangkok.
Another
Oh,
camp
look at
team.
that.
Eastford FC, Keverton. There's so many there. Wentford
Farm Athletic. There it is. Farm
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 Athletic.
Athletic scored
Experiences
2
for them.
goals for them.
Hey, do you know in this Scorcher he scores an hat-trick with his left foot?
Will you 2 leave it alone? Let it lie. Let it lie.
Wig Factory team. That was the Wig Factory team.
Oh,
Big
brilliant.
factory team. Hair raising.
I'll tell you something.
Hair racing.
Hang on. If this goes on any longer, there'll be hell to pay.
The ball went in the air. Dead shots wig. Dead shots wig made me head the ball into the back of the net.
Oh, but come on, that was brilliant from the Podfather. Did you not get that?
Sorry.
There'll be
again.
hell. Go on, Podfather.
I'll do it again. If this goes on much longer, there'll be hell to pay.
Oh,
That was brilliant,
Very
Podfather.
good. He's so good. We have missed you, Gum. Not all the time, but just today. And
Oh,
then
God,
finally,
sorry. Do you know what? I
Go on.
didn't see a team there.
don't.
I'm sorry, Hamish, but
Groundwood School, 178. Us 3
Yeah.
own goals.
I can't. Can you just quickly flick through the pages again? Can I?
are you looking for?
Yeah, but we do have a podcast which is not to on for 4 hours. If
No,
you
I
just-
know.
Are you
Who
Well,
looking
just
for?
very quickly, I'm looking for Brand X.
Brand X.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They were around microchips time, weren't they?
Oh.
The
What were they
manager
in?
looked
Were,
like
were they in
Ron
the,
Atkinson.
were they in the comic?
They were in Tiger in the 80s, yeah.
Oh, well,
Listen,
maybe
My
it's another one.
favourite team because I
Listen,
loved the
my
kit.
Just for some advice for Tangent, if he wants to check things, just watch the bloody YouTube episode.
Yeah.
So,
You know,
anyway, Hamish,
fantastic work, this.
is absolutely work a genius. And he finishes off. Hopefully, you made it this far. And if you have, then you are just as much a football comic tragic as I am. I assume I've done enough here to earn my football comic nerd badge, or at least a stoic nod of the head and raised glass. Indeed, as a raised glass. It's only water, unfortunately, Hamish.
That.
But that was
Brilliant.
absolutely
Well
superb.
done, Hamish.
That was
brilliant.
Great fun.
That is fantastic. Oh, brilliant. I've got to say, I thoroughly enjoyed that. And what a body of work from Hamish there.
Yeah.
That is remarkable. And that's what this pod's all about. And
Yeah.
that's what we say to you, honestly, as Mute has said, if we've got time, obviously, we would love to have some of you on. But if any of you've got anything like that, that you'd like work that you've done in the past or future projects that you'd love to share with us, either come on, as Mute said, or do you want to send us a presentation and we'll go through it. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. That is what this pod is all about.
You do say that now, Tangent, but in honor of Hamish Whitta from Twitter, now X, I'm going to go through all the goals that featured in Messi's moccasins.
Oh, fantastic
Messi's moccasins.
stuff. Fantastic stuff. Oh, well,
Oh.
I've got to say that was a brilliant feature, and I think that put smiles on all of our faces, Hamish. And I hope some of the content about the left foot and Brandex, I'm sure you'll review it for us, but it was all done in the right spirit. But we
best possible taste.
Exactly, we thoroughly enjoyed that.
Oh,
and
genius.
I'm gonna make a call here because we're an hour and 22 minutes in, so I think I'm gonna say that we shall leave Collector's Corner, but sorry. But there are a couple of things that we do want to mention. The first one, which was already in the social media feedback, and of course, like latest football comic news. For those of you that aren't members of the Striker World Facebook group, Pete Nash has announced that he's been looking at AI and the possibility of a new 40th, so it's 40th anniversary, isn't it, Podfather?
Yes.
Story of Nick Jarvis, and he's actually been posting some pictures as well, and that's really good. And we are going to try and reach out to Pete to see if we can get him on a future pod to discuss that. But that's really exciting. Obviously, we are all looking and hoping for new content, and so that's, as I say, that's on the Facebook group. So I would certainly, if you're Striker fans and you're not already a member, I would sign up for the latest news on that. That's well worth it. Mute, you've kind of already alluded to that. I think we've reached out to Barry Mitchell.
Yeah, so I mean that would be amazing. But you say it's by letter, so he's got to get in contact with me by phone number or email. So fingers crossed for that. David Hunt, as you said, he's going to come on again. So definitely in the new year we'll get David back on. And Barry Tomlinson, the legendary Barry Tomlinson, is going to come on and do another Christmas special. We had a fantastic Christmas special last year, but we're going to record that in early December as well. We're going to flick through.
What he'll be wearing this time.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's hope it's full Santa suit this time. But we're going to flick through a couple of Christmas editions. So yeah, some special shows coming up.
Fantastic.
Can't wait.
I think that's kind of it for potential special guests.
And of course, Ian Gold will be back.
Yes, of course. Well, we'll have Ian back with crikey. And where are we now? What part of these amazing Royder Rovers read through and story review? Yeah,
don't know. 7980.
We look forward to Ian's return on that. So I'm going to go over for last reflections. Podfather, consecutive back-to-back pods. How does it feel to be back amongst the team?
Well, it's just fantastic. I mean, I might have like breaks every so often because I come back stronger every time. I love it. Doc over the moon as well. Can I just say something in all seriousness? Because listening to Hamish's unbelievable work, it really does humble me, and I know it does you guys, that people give up their time to do these sort of things about the things that they love. And it just, we really appreciate. I'm not getting my words out correctly, but we really appreciate it, and thank you for everybody that has ever contributed or wants to contribute. All of those things. I'll shut up now. Yeah, why don't you shut up? Oh, sorry.
Brilliant, brilliant. Bygone.
I've really enjoyed tonight. I think it's been brilliant. Tonight, We Are United's been come back. I've really enjoyed catching up with the semi-final.
Hooray!
And I think the that Billy's boots has just thrown me a little bit. I think it makes me want to go out now. When I retire, I'll go through all Jural's Palace's goals, how many stadiums they've had, what the names of them were. I think it's just, if there's anybody out there, just got into statistics, yes, and needs it for the CV or anything like that, we'll more than happily endorse, and I'll sign them off for you if you want to check how many goals Hot Shot Hamish and Mighty Mouse scored together as a combination, anything like that. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's like you just said, Gull, about the, like somebody's that interested, to go through all, and it's not just a flick of a page, is it? That's actually endorsing, getting invested into Billy Dane's story and looking through them all. It's wonderful.
But it inspires other people. There are certain things that I've learned within the last million episodes that we've done that has made me go down perhaps a different route of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just amazing. It really is.
It's like Ian going through all the, issues of Roy the Rovers. It makes you want to pick them up and do them again, because people look at different. I forgot about that. I never realised that. So you want to go back and read them. But yeah, lovely show. I really enjoyed it.
Well said.
Fantastic. Yeah, no, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Well, mute button, and you delivered that fantastic feature.
Yeah, well, I was very honoured to. I mean, on what Hamish actually did, it took him 6 weeks to read all of those. And he said he got some strange looks from his missus during that time. But yeah, just a shout out to Hamish. Actually does a blog. So unless you're on X,
brilliant.
you probably won't know, but it's called Hamish's Hot Shot Tiger blog. And he reviews Tiger comics week by week, and he goes through all the stories. So your Skid Solos, your Johnny Cougars, Roy the Rovers, obviously in the early Tigers. So if anybody's interested, look it up. It's Hamish's Hot Shot Tiger blog. It's brilliant work, as you can tell from the stuff which he's done.
No, that's fantastic.
So yeah, no, really good show. Really enjoyed it. Fantastic stuff.
Amazing. Well, yeah, brilliant stuff. And I'm just going to, for those of you YouTube viewers, hopefully you can see this. And I think I'm going to end the show with this as a little sample of the work from Pete Nash that he's working towards for the new potential Striker comic editions. And so I think I'm going to leave this episode with that potential news of new football comic content coming. Sorry, Bygone.
Socials.
So I was going to leave the socials for this episode. I'm showing a new way of presenting. We don't have to do it every pod. People know where we are.
But
and I'm going to get
what
them
I would
to
just
search
say
go for it, new
is
button.
we're now on Instagram.
And we're now on Instagram.
We're now on Instagram. But that's it. Yeah. I'm trying to work out how to put stuff on Instagram. I do know how to put, but trying to get the show links and stuff like that. But yeah, we're on Instagram.
There'll be news of the socials in the next pod when we'll have figured out how we can get our stuff onto Instagram, along with all the amazing other ways of getting in touch with us. Anyway, fantastic. Thanks, Hamish, and we look forward to seeing you on the next pod. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Hiya.